Hello everyone, this is Dr. Mariam Narona. I thought since all of us are navigating this course of online teaching, learning uh, now, ever since the COVID 19 crisis has struck, we have no other choice, and many of us are navigating this course for the very first time. Some teachers have not taught online ever before this, some students have not had their own college or school teachers teaching them online. They may have attended Coursera or Swayam or some other MOOCs platforms, Udemy courses there, things like that, An Academy and all. You may have attended there, but just to help you understand how we will progress with online teaching learning, I just thought it might help to acquaint you with the 4 quadrants of online teaching and how it will progress in my class. Alright, so just very quickly to take you through the 4 quadrants of online teaching. So you have synchronous teaching learning, which is a face-to-face interaction with the teacher in an online mode through some platform like Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams. So that sort of interaction when you have with your teacher online, that is synchronous teaching learning. Now this may be used by the teacher to talk about things, to discuss things, or to teach you something which he or she has not included in asynchronous learning. This is ideally expected because if you have already got certain part of a chapter or a majority of the chapter in the form of a pre-recorded video or audio, then what you would do probably is you would listen to that and you would already be aware of it. So how I look at it is, in synchronous teaching learning, the teacher ideally will be communicating something to you which is not included in a synchronous learning material which has been shared by the teacher. Now, the second quadrant of the online teaching learning process is asynchronous teaching learning. This is in the form of study material which is shared with the student. It could be in the form of audio, video, it could be pre-recorded lectures or recorded lectures. It could be curated content which is not being created by the teacher themselves, but they found it somewhere and it is of value and they are sharing it because it makes more sense to curate first before creating. It just saves a lot of time. So this could be in the form of even reading material or books, links to books and ebooks and things like that. It could be. Then it is used asynchronous teaching learning material. Where will you find it? You will ideally find it in, if your learning management system is Google G Suite, then in the Google Classroom the teacher is expected to have shared this material with the student. So please look for it there. In asynchronous teaching learning, also any announcements and communication which the teacher wants to have with the class to just let them know that what and how, when, what is the schedule for the weeks to come or in this week, that may be communicated. Then it is used for quick and easy learning and revision anytime, anywhere. Now, this is important. Asynchronous teaching learning is very important because sometimes due to internet connectivity, a student may be unable to come online for synchronous teaching learning. So, it is recommended that 70% of online teaching learning is done through the asynchronous mode and only 30% is done in the synchronous mode. So that is, if there are 4 lectures which you would otherwise have offline, then only one lecture will be used probably for synchronous teaching learning. The rest of it will be asynchronous. Then discussion forums, the third quadrant of online teaching learning. This is for doubt clearing. It is for group discussions or interactions between teachers and learners. You can post your doubts in the classroom and the teacher will respond, or you can email the teacher. But if you post it in the classroom, everyone can see it and may benefit from the doubt which you have raised. Then the last quadrant, assessment and evaluation, that is carried out through online tests and assignments which would be given to you. It may be in the form of a quiz, or it may be in the form of some activity which the teacher asks you to carry out and upload your document or your images. Whatever task is given to you, like if it's a poster, then you upload the image. If it is an essay, you upload a document or a PDF, ideally, because then PDFs are non-editable and it's a safe way of sharing. So this is how the 4 quadrants of online teaching and learning work. This is what they are, and in my class we will be working like this. You will have majority of your work in asynchronous mode, and then we will meet once every 4 lectures, or say once in 2 weeks, because currently we are having about 2 lectures in a week. So we meet once in 2 weeks to have a discussion or to learn something which I have already not shared in my classroom. So just let's talk a little bit about synchronous teaching learning. So I mentioned that it would be in the form of virtual meetings on learning management systems and video conferencing platforms. Now in college we are using G Suite, and so we are using Google Meet. You'll get a link. It will be sent to you ahead of the meeting. Well in advance I generate the link. If ideally it is not recommended to generate links for just 5-10 minutes before the meeting. I want my students to come in good numbers and take the benefit of a synchronous learning session. So I do that in advance. You will get it from me in advance. You probably get it the previous day. I just want to once again reinforce that the link which is given is for you exclusively. Please do not give it to any other student, even if that student is a student of this college. If they have not yet received the official email ID, it is not to be shared with them. They can join the synchronous learning sessions once they have their ID. If a student has not been added to the classroom, they already have the official ID and they have not been added, they can always send me an email. If you just type my name in your official Gmail ID, my ID will appear, and you can just contact me via mail. Send me your name, full name, send me your class and division and subject, and I will add you in the classroom. That is all that you need to send to me. So in the virtual meetings, what is expected from you is that you join the meeting in time. If you're joining from the Nesvadia ecosystem, then you automatically join. You don't need to ask permission to be admitted into the meeting. You join, and when you attend, use the opportunity to interact, participate, ask questions, and make sure that when the meeting is ended by the teacher, that you leave the classroom, because that facilitates the recording of the online attendance properly. So please be aware of these things. Don't remain in the classroom, and don't open a link for a meeting and disappear and do something else during that time. If you want to make it a an enriching learning experience for yourself. Now, asynchronous teaching learning, I mentioned that it is in the form of e-content or study material which will be shared by the teacher. Now, the objective is to facilitate anytime, anywhere learning. So, the idea behind this is that whatever video, audio files are shared with you, any work that is given to you as pre-work before a discussion or before a synchronous learning session, you have to do it, because that is a preparatory part of when you come to class. You would be expected to answer certain questions and things like that. The e-content is made because we want to help you to learn anytime, anywhere. That is, if you are unable to attend a synchronous learning session, you don't lose out in any way, because you have or you can't come for a discussion forum or something like that. Then you can revise and refer anytime, anywhere. Please be aware that all content which is created by a teacher and it is shared with you, that is proprietary to the teacher. You do not have the authority to indiscriminately distribute that. It is for your benefit as a student, but you are not to distribute it indiscriminately. Of course, links to my YouTube channel can be shared with any student, not only of Neswadia College of Commerce, but any student affiliated to colleges of Savitribai Phule Pune University, or any student of business studies and law, commerce, management. If they find value from it, I'd be happy if they could check out the content on my channel. So please be careful about indiscriminate sharing. Do not share indiscriminately. Now, discussion forums can be implemented by you asking questions in the classroom on the classwork stream by commenting there, or you can write to the teacher concerned. That is, you can write to me if I am your teacher, or you write to the concerned teacher if it's for another subject. And please raise your doubts and queries. Don't feel ashamed about asking questions, because that is how you learn. If you ask a question, you may seem foolish for a short while, but if you don't ask a question and that doubt remains in your mind, you will be uninitiated or clueless about that for a long time to come. So please ask questions and get your doubts cleared in discussion forums. Either you can do it online during the synchronous session, we can devote some time to that, which we usually do, or you can please post your queries in the classroom or on email. Now, the most important part of any learning process, examinations. In the online teaching learning mode, this is also an aspect of the learning process, and it is in the form of online assessment or evaluation. It will be used by teachers to conduct online examinations or just class tests, or to evaluate how much you have learnt or what you have understood by giving you some assignments, asking you some questions. This will be posted in the classwork section of the Google Classroom. Please make sure that you complete your work in time. Every assignment, question, evaluation has a certain deadline. Students turning in the late, you will come to know in the system only, you will come to know that you have submitted this late, and the teacher of course will anyway come to know. So please be particular about completing these things in time. Now, some online tests and evaluations may be conducted during a synchronous learning session. That is, if I just want to evaluate what you have understood, if I have given you some video, audio to listen to, or some reading material, and I want to understand whether you have really listened to it and learned something from it, I may conduct that evaluation or assessment online, and that will be time bound, 10-15 minutes during the synchronous session. So please be aware of it. So if you like the content on this channel, if you like the content and the explanation in this video, please hit like, do subscribe to the channel, spread the word, comment and share feedback. Thank you for listening.